Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this awesome 2022 Tesla Model 3 dual motor long range that we have for sale. One awesome battery electric vehicle. The Model 3 has been out since 2017. They started limited production and then they really kind of ramped things up in 2018. But even though they might look the same on the outside and somewhat the same on the inside, there are some notable differences between the earlier 2018 long range dual motor Model 3s versus the newer 2001-2022 Model 3 dual motor long ranges. Tesla added some more features. They improved efficiency. Lots of differences. I'm going to try to do this all in about 10 minutes, but there's just so much to talk about these vehicles. They're so different than every other vehicle on the road. It is really kind of remarkable. For me, it's kind of like a automotive breath of fresh air. I've been in the car business since I was 15. I'm 42. So I've seen and been in lots of cars, driven lots of cars. I love cars. I love gas cars, but man, electric cars are just so different. Just the whole driving experience, the functionality, especially Teslas. You know, these are pretty much like smartphones on wheels. There's just so much technology over their updates. This amazing user interface with the central touchscreen. There's no other vehicle like it. And a lot of people, you know, all you need to do is take one for a drive, and then it's just like, you know, it's like you're godsmacked or Teslapped. You know, people are like, wow, I had no idea how amazing these cars are. And it's kind of like, you know, when I got my first iPhone, I went, you know, back in, I don't know, 2004, 2005, I went into an AT&T store and I was going to buy a BlackBerry or something like that, a little keyboard so I can text, and the salesperson there said, hey, we have a deal on these new iPhones. You can get one for $99 with a 2-year contract. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, well, these are way better than a BlackBerry. I'm like, and I took her word for it. And I've been an iPhone user ever since. So for me, what I see in the automotive world, I kind of see Tesla kind of doing to the car industry what Apple did to the smartphone industry. Tesla is setting the new standards, and this is my opinion, but you know, maybe it does have some weight since, you know, I've been in the car business, you know, over 20 years and seen lots of cars. I see a big change happening, and I see Tesla really influencing the you know, the car world. They're saying this is a new standard for vehicles. And they're setting the bar very, very high. You know, the Model 3 is what you would call a category killer. It basically excels and dominates in every category it competes in, and it competes a lot. You know, performance, in the 0 to 60, was it 3.8 seconds, top speed 140 miles an hour. It's faster than a lot of cars on the road. Safety, according to the NHTSA, the Model 3 is the safest passenger vehicle they've ever tested by every metric they've had. It's the lowest probability of injury in an accident out of any other vehicle on the road. Efficiency, the Model 3 is one of the most efficient battery electric vehicles on the market. Tesla has been building electric cars since, you know, 2008. So they have a head start. They have a, you know, head start in, you know, efficiency, battery technology, thermal management. I think they have like 3 million cars on the road right now. And Tesla loves to gather data. Some people are, you know, kind of don't like, you know, the data that they gather, but it helps. I mean, so they have 3 million cars driving on the road that are gathering data and giving it back to Tesla so they can improve things. They can make them safer. They can make them more efficient. You have amazing over-the-air updates. We're constantly getting over-the-air updates every month, kind of like your smartphone. It's gaining features. We recently got an over-the-air update where they added a blind spot camera. This car, the Model 3's had cameras on the side since 2017, but finally in 2022, early 2022, they did an over-the-air update and they figured out, hey, now we can have blind spot cameras when you put your signals on. I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket. There's no other car that I know of that can add a feature like that. I mean, because so many other cars have features tied to hard buttons and wiring, where we go back to the smartphone on wheels analogy. That's just basically what it is. Since the majority of the functionality is handled in this screen, it is infinitely configurable. And it's a vehicle that, in a lot of ways, even though it gets older, it gets better. It gains features as it ages. There's no other car like that. It's remarkable. Okay, so we have the blind spot camera, very crisp backup camera. You can also pull up live camera views on your phone. The Tesla app is amazing as well. Really second to none. So let's talk about what this thing has for features. So long range dual motor, this has 4,000 miles. So dual motor means it has a mode in the front, mode in the back, which gives it all-wheel drive, also makes it really fast. It's like having 2 engines. instant thrust. There's no hesitation. As soon as you hit that throttle, boom, you're taking off. Not the case of gas cars. You hit the throttle, they have to think, oh, what to do. The transmission downshifts, the engine revs, then you take off. This is just instant thrust as soon as you hit the throttle. If you've never driven an electric car, you have to experience it to see the difference. Okay, so let's keep going. Autopilot. Autopilot is what we call traffic-aware cruise control, and allows the vehicle to accelerate and brake within its own lane and move with the flow of traffic. Full self-driving gets lots of press. We actually do have a Tesla full self-driving. There are some cool features. I don't know if it's worth $12,000 or $200 a month. Maybe to some people it is. I think eventually when Tesla can get full self-driving out of beta and save it, that will be a big deal. But right now, Autopilot, there's no extra charge. They're updating it. And it gives you semi-autonomy. They want you to pay attention and keep your hand in the wheel. But it moves the flow of traffic. It goes to a complete stop. It's going on its own, and you're just sitting there supervising. Here's a video of me driving a Tesla on a back road near my house. When you do use the Autopilot, you know, on roads like this, you need to really be diligent. It's not going to stop necessarily for, you know, pedestrians. It should, but not always. So you need to stop the vehicle. It's not going to stop for stop signs or red lights. If you have the Autopilot set at 40 miles an hour, then all of a sudden a 15 mile per hour hairpin corner comes along. It's not going to slow down for that either. Mostly it's designed to be used in the highway, or, you know, like divided, you know, like Pacific Highway. Things with not a lot of bends and things going on in it. Not a lot of obstacles. Here's a, you know, video of me driving it in stop and go traffic in Federal Way. This is where it really excels. And I'm at the point where if I have to run errands for the dealership, I'm so spoiled by these Teslas. This is basically all I want to drive. Likewise, my dad. My dad's in the cart business. He does what I do. Luckily, he gets demos. I don't get demos. He's had dealer demos since the 1980s. He's a Tesla snob. Now he'll only drive Teslas. He won't drive anything else as a demo. You know, his favorite's the Model Y, which is basically a crossover version of the Model 3. Premium connectivity. It's $10 a month. Basically, it's like a cell phone hotspot. Allows you to stream music. You get these live Google Maps. You can stream video and stuff too. You can also use your cell phone as a hotspot if you want. You don't get all the features. I think for $10 a month, it's almost a no-brainer. And then I also hear you also get standard connectivity, which gives you navigation. I hear actually Tesla is going to maybe discontinue the standard connectivity and start charging for that. Luckily, this one's grandfathered into this standard connectivity, so you won't have to pay extra for that. You have the silly things like the whoopee cushion. And I like how, you know, the avatar of the vehicle matches the color, the wheels, everything. And then if you do wrap it, they have things like a colorizer so you can change it. That's pretty funny. It can play a light show, fun at Christmas time. You can play ambient music through the horn. You can change the sound of a horn to, let's see, a fart. You can also change it to a goat and all that other stuff. Okay, let's keep this rolling along. So much to talk about. This one has the all-season mats. So early on when the Tesla dual model long range first came out, the EPA rated range of a full charge was about 300 miles. They've improved the efficiency. Notably in 2001, Tesla added the octo valve heat pump to the Model 3, and that greatly improved the efficiency. Now fully charged, you have a range of about 350 miles. But also Tesla, for daily use, they don't recommend you charge more than about 80 or 90%. The reason is that just gives you a longer, happier life for your lithium-ion battery. Of course, if you're doing a road trip, it's more than fine to charge it to 100%, but just for daily use, 80 or 90%. So that makes a big difference, you know. So like for instance, a 2019 Tesla Standard Range Plus, charging it to about 80%, your usable range is going to be about 180 miles versus this. Your usable range at 80 or 90%, you know, 300, 290 miles. So it makes a big difference having that battery pack, and that's why, you know, the long range is about $10,000 more than a comparable standard range. Is you have a lot bigger battery. They also give you more features. You know, the standard range, the long range versus the standard range plus. The standard range plus has a partial premium interior, where you get a full premium interior with the long range. I believe they also give you improved charging capacity. It is capable of charging a little bit faster rate than the standard range plus, which makes sense since it has a larger battery. And you know, obviously you get better performance with the dual motor long range. you know, 0 to 60, you know, 3.84 seconds. You know, where the standard range plus is like about 5.2 seconds. Standard range plus is just rear wheel drive, where you get all wheel drive now standard with a long range. Also get a little bit better of a sound system as well with the long range version of the Model 3. One of the safest vehicles on the road, one of the most efficient vehicles, one of the most longest range battery electric vehicles in its class. You also have that amazing supercharging network. You can get a full charge in about a half hour. There's 2 superchargers within 6 miles of us. You can pretty much, with Tesla's supercharging network, you can pretty much travel anywhere in the United States. Awesome stuff. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.